Shalom. Before we begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honor to the apostles, elders, great ministers on the Shalom tonight. I can teach this word throughout the four corners in true sincerity. I'm back with another lesson. The spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. I'm going to be edifying into the elect. Alright, the topic of this lesson is, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Alright. In the talks now, it says Trump denies claim Israel dragged U.S. into war with Iran. All right, so he denied it. Whether he believe it or not. All right, it's again his prophecy. The will of the Lord will be done. Okay, and the Lord's will is to drag or to have, the nation of Israel, those small hats, those Goldilocks, Edomites, to drag America, all right, into a war. And that's exactly what has happened. I read it again. Trump denies it or agrees with whatever anyone says. Okay, it has happened. All right, the evidence is plain as day. You have Slovakia. All right, you have U.S. Marines, all right, vets, okay, talking about how they don't want to fight. All right, this war for Iran is not for the American people. This is for, the Israelis. All right, you got them, going viral. What's going on, in the earth. What Israel's causing America, to do, and it's really what the Lord is causing Israel to make America do. When these things happen, when major powers happen, or when major moves happen within these major powers on the earth, it's ultimately the will of Yahweh Shai. The same way how it was to set them up to rule. Now it's in the will of the Lord to have Israel to draw America to go to war. All right, let's start with Psalm 75. All right, I'm gonna bring out a precept to back it up. This is Psalm 75 and starting at 4 says, "I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, unto the wicked lift not up the horn, so don't be proud." All right, so of course a horn represents power. All right, it says lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. All right, and that's their MO, being proud. All right, Esau, Edom. It's why it says for promotion coming neither from the east nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He put it down one another. So, all right, the Lord had set up America to be a powerful nation, but the Israelis got these Americans, these presidents by the balls. All right, namely Donald Trump. All right, to get dragged into this war because they're all tied in. All right, it says, but the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. From the hand of the Lord Yahweh, there is a cup. All right, now this going into how Esau's going to go into slavery. It says, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he poured out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the Lord, I will sing praises to God of Jacob. All right, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. It says, all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. So, going into how they're going to go into slavery, because the same way how we drunk a cup going into slavery, they're going into slavery as well. But before that happens specifically, all right, there's specific prophecies that need to take place, like the mark of the beast, like World War III, all right, like the return of Yahweh Shai, because at the end of World War III, these Edomites, all right, these other nations will be our servants and handmaids and slaves to serve us. All right, now it's going to be a role reversal. All right, so tying it back to the topic, all this is just a fulfillment of prophecy. The Lord has chosen to set up these leaders, all right, for a time and a day, all right, which is ultimately going to lead to the destruction of America and to the return of Yahweh Shai. All right, now let's watch this, quick 1 minute, video. All right.
It's about his reasoning for going to war with Iran. For the first time, President Donald Trump took questions about his reasoning for going to war with Iran.
But Ukraine has
In the Oval Office, the U.S. president says he just had a feeling that Iran was going to strike, but denies he was pulled into this war by Israel.
I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first.
Contradicting his own Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces.
The president who promised no more wars portrays this one as necessary.
Right, you see, it's all a show. All right, they just pushing out a false narrative. He doesn't want to look like he's the one that's backing Israel, but that's the truth of the matter. The truth is out. All right, the truth is out. We've been told you, or the elders and apostles told you. All right, the masses that Israel's gonna cause America to go into another war. All right, even now he denies it, but again, all right, this is the Willie Yah Bashimal. This is the Willie Yah Bashimal Shah. All right.
To eliminate Iran's nuclear threat once and for all, destroying their naval and missile capabilities. And Trump says they knocked out Iran's radar defenses, hitting 1,700 targets so far.
We're hitting them very hard, and the big scale hitting goes now. They no longer have air protection. They no longer have any detection facilities at all left, and so they're gonna be in for a lot of hurt.
All right. Let's go to St. Jeremiah. Jeremiah 50:45. It says, "Therefore hear you the counsel of the Lord Yahweh." All right, so here, listen. It says that he had taken against Babylon. Babylon, modern day. All right, it's talking about America, representing America. All right, he said that, and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. All right, America again. It says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate, with them." So the least of the flock, really going into how Israel's gonna draw America into, war. All right, when you go into that word, you go into that word draw. Where's that? To drag. So these Israelis, all right, they're going to drag America into war, and that's exactly what has happened. All right, ultimately to fulfill the will of Yahweh Bashimal Shai. And Trump says he denies that it was that. All right, remember, the king's heart. Like it says in that's Proverbs. Proverbs 21:1 says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, as the rivers of water he turneth it wheresoever he will." So, all right, the Lord is in behind the scenes, are like a puppet controlling, all right, these high officials, these presidents, Iran, Israel, Russia, Ukraine. All these high world leaders, he's behind it all, controlling it behind the scenes to fulfill his will. All right, it says he's turning it whatsoever he will. All right, and his will is to cause Israel to drag America into a war. All right, you may ask yourself, why is it not going? It's not going to go nuclear as of yet. All right, because we are in like a soft, launch of World War III. All right, because again, prophecies have to take place. Like you have Revelation 13 and 16 talks about, all right, the mark of the beast has to be implemented. This digital currency, or this digital society, has to be fully implemented. Then World War III can be ushered in. All right, the Lord works in order. All right, the Lord works in order. All right, step by step. All right, before certain things can come to pass. But what we're seeing now is it's wonderful. It's beautiful. What's going on in the Middle East. All right. What's going on in the Middle East. Because you have also in Joel talks about how the Lord was going to gather these nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Joel 3 and start at 1 says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem." Not saying this don't mean we going into captivity. This is going as how the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, because that's what it's talking about: Judah and Jerusalem, northern and southern kingdom. Because we got to choose Israelites to the scriptures. How the Lord's going to return or reverse our captivity. All right, that's how you see, all this turmoil going on, and it's not supposed to fear you. This is good. This is great, amazing news. We're just getting closer and closer to the return to the return of Yahweh Shai. We're not gonna have to clock in anymore. No, we're not gonna be under. Slack, I'm stuttering. We're not gonna be under the curses no more. All right, everything is, in our favor. The Lord is in our favor. All right, starting with the elect. All right, but the way it's going to come to pass is not gonna look beautiful. Right, it's gonna be deaths. All right, on a worldwide scale, but that's what's needed. All right. This is Joel 3 and 2. It says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment, where the Lord's going to judge, right? That's what it says. "I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations in part of my land." So, they in our land right now, all right, doing all manner of wickedness, right? Because ultimately they took it. All right, but when you go into that word plead in Joel, their chapter, it goes into to judge, punish, all right, to execute judgment, to decide the controversy of the Most High, man, all right, to vindicating, condemning, punishing. So it's all to punish these other nations' armies. All right, because when Yahweh Shai, in the midst of World War III, when it does ultimately fully pop off, all right, in the midst of World War III, Yahweh Shai is going to return. And when he returns, all right, that's going to be it. All right, he's going to completely obliterate and judge these nations' armies. All right. Because the Lord is a righteous, power. These nations have a tab, all right, to pay for what they've done, to the children of Israel. That's why it says in the 3rd verse, "And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot, and so the girl for wine that they might drink." All right, this is what actually happened. They cast lots. All right, they gave a boy for harlot. They sold a girl for wine. You see the movies. They done these things and worse, that we don't know about. But the Lord knows, and He's also going to vindicate us soon. All right, but it's going to be by the way of, nuclear, and chariot fire destruction. All right. But hey, with that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushua B'Hashem, Kakadash, and double honor to the apostles and others, great millstone, and Shalom to the I can teach this word. Not the four corners, and show sincerity, after most out of here, Shalom.